Logitech built the first commercial mouse?
Yes.
3rd of December 2008, we got a news that Logitech has shipped its 1 billionth mouse.
The mouse built this house.
You are the newest CEO of one of the oldest companies in this game.
So I spent much of my career at Procter & Gamble and at Unilever, but there's a lot of similarities between Logitech and these big consumer goods companies. We're a Swiss company, right? India has more software engineers than there's people in Switzerland.
Welcome to India.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hello and welcome from the technology programming team here at NDTV Network. This is Sharat Nair at NDTV.com and this is Hanneke. Hello and welcome to India.
Thank you. It's always awesome to be here.
Before we continue, just give me a yes or no. Logitech built the first commercial mouse?
Yes.
100%.
The mouse built this house.
This is years ago.
Very many years ago. So in 2031, we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary. So if you do the math, 1981 is when we started.
Oh my God, very bad at maths. Which means you are the newest CEO of one of the oldest companies in this game.
Absolutely. In technology, by technology standards, we're an old company, and I've been here 6 months.
Your background is basically all of FMCG products and everything. So how different is tech? By the way, in one of my reviews, I've said that Logitech is like the FMCG of peripherals.
Yeah.
So how different is technology from companies like this?
Yeah, no, it's a great point. So I spent much of my career at Procter & Gamble and at Unilever, or HUL here, which is a fabulous company, I might say. But there's a lot of similarities between Logitech and these big consumer goods companies. First of all, the focus on the consumer, the end user, is just as important for Logitech as it is when you're selling tea or shampoo. Second, the importance of branding. At Logitech, we have a great brand, but I think there's still lots of opportunity to make that brand truly iconic. And third, the way we go to market, whether that's in the B2C retail channels, Amazon, or in B2B, also a lot of similarities. So while the actual product is very different from a cup of tea, there is lots of similarities around it.
Also, very few people know that Logitech is Swiss and that old, as you mentioned, and very legacy. Did you know all of this before the conversation to join started?
Well, actually, I knew it was Swiss, and I had absolutely, like most users, I'd heard of the company. I liked the brand, and actually my predecessor as a CEO also came from Procter & Gamble, so I vaguely knew him, and when I saw that he had retired, I actually said to my husband that night, I hope they call me for that job. And they did. So I feel very lucky. I feel very lucky to be here.
Can I just bring up two things and I'll have to read them so that I don't get the date wrong.
Sure.
1, 3rd of December 2008, news media organizations, we got a news that Logitech has shipped its 1 billionth mouse. Let me repeat that, it's 1 billionth mouse. Secondly, during the pandemic, you guys had 80% surges, as much as 80% surges in demands. What do these two numbers mean to you?
Yeah, again, the mouse built this house. So that's our core product. And some people think that's an old product, that's a legacy product. Computer mice are still very exciting. They make you more productive. They help you win that game in gaming. So it is still, one of our biggest products, and we're excited about computer mice. So that remains. And we've sold way more than 1 billion now, because this is now almost 20 years ago. The pandemic, was a crazy time for Logitech and many others in the industry that you cover. Everyone was stuck at home, which meant you had to work from home, and in our case, you were gaming a lot because there was nothing else to do. So, yes, the business surged by a lot. In the 2 years after, the business has come back down, but we're still very significantly bigger than before COVID. So that's exciting. That's a great start point, and we're proud that in the last quarter, we grew again for the first time in 2 years. So this is a really great time for Logitech.
So I personally look at this has three phases. One is the pre-COVID. I'm just talking behaviorally in terms of a consumer. Then there was COVID, and then there's post-COVID. Is that the same for you as well?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. And post-COVID, the period that we're living now, again, I think it's a great time for Logitech because there's three big tailwinds for our business that are more macro. The first one is hybrid work, versus pre-COVID. We all work differently. I heard even in India, almost half of office workers are hybrid, so partly from home, partly from the office.
Partly from the traffic.
Partly from the traffic, yes. No, and this is important because for our types of products, if you're working home, traffic, and office, you need, more tools to help you. You need video conferencing to stay in touch with everyone else. So that's one tailwind, new ways of working. Second tailwind is gaming. That market just continues to grow globally, but also here in India.
Phenomenally.
Yes, which is fun. And that's driven by more women gaming. Gaming used to be a boys thing.
No, also I'm a PC gamer myself, not into consoles. So.
Yeah, great. Thank you. But women are gaming, older people are gaming, so that's a tailwind. And then finally, of course, I'm sure every interview you do is about AI, but AI is also a tailwind for us.
Yeah, we will talk about that. Two questions. Not two questions, two observations. A, desktop sales have fallen. Now, when one sells a desktop, one is bound to also sell a mouse bundled in as well. On the other hand, I've also seen laptop people do end up eventually buying a mouse as well. So what does that trend show? How do you look at it?
Yeah. I think in general, we attach to PCs, whether they're desktops or laptops. PC sales have been muted post-COVID. There is a refresh coming, that's for sure, and we're seeing the first signs of that. And AI, again, is helping. The new AI PCs that were announced by Microsoft just a couple weeks ago, those are coming. And while there's no one-to-one correlation, for us with PC sales, it certainly doesn't hurt.
Correct. But specifically when you look at the Indian market, who do you think you're fighting against?
It's not very different from the rest of the world. So our competition is a little different. In gaming, I think in India, the market is still fairly small in PC gaming. So
pretty nascent,
it's really up to us to grow the market more so than look at competition. When you look at our what we call personal workspace, so the mice, the keyboards, the webcams, some of the big PC players are in there, but I think we're very differentiated from them. And then in video conferencing, which is a very big category for us as well, again, some of the big tech players are in there. But I'm proud to say that in 11 of the 13 segments that we're playing in, we're number one globally. So we'd like to keep it that way.
If I ask the same question, but again, if I bring it to the the global context, just pricing and premiumness, would that become a factor?
Continuing to move people up to ever better products is really important. That said, here in India, but also in many other countries, we start from bringing people into the category at entry prices, and we offer mice at $2 and $5, so that they're affordable for most people. But then over time, you want to move them up to more premium products, some of our most premium products actually do really well here in India.
True. And then there's the ecosystem, the software and the entire keyboard mouse combo and everything. So that is also helping.
Absolutely. And I think that's important for us as a company. What we do is not just sell hardware. Hardware is a commodity. What we do is design-led, software-enabled hardware. And it's critical that we start from design. What does the user need? How do we make it ergonomically as good as possible? How do we make it aesthetically fun to look at? This is sitting on your desk. You have to look at it all day, every day. It better look great. So
how do we help him shoot that gun faster?
Absolutely. So design-led is really key. And then software-enabled. In every single one of our products, there's really smart software inside. And by the way, that is developed here in India. So we have a big engineering innovation center in Chennai where a lot of our global software is developed.
But we've been talking about gaming so much. I feel like, I could be wrong, please correct me, Logitech gaming, very different from Logitech consumer and starter, very different from Logitech enterprise, let's say. Am I right?
Yeah, so those are three different parts of our business. They are very different. You know, when you're trying to win that game, you're in a completely different mindset from when you're trying to be as productive as possible at work or when you're having a video conference. But there are definitely back office synergies. So some of the products actually are similar. There's mice, there's keyboards, there's cameras, there's headsets that play across gaming and personal workspace. There's a need to be super consumer focused. And again, the consumer need at those points is different, but you have to understand him or her really well to deliver the right product. And then another thing I will add is, of course, the tech in the background, but also sustainability, increasingly important for our products, and we apply that across the range. So one of the things I'm proud of at Logitech, not my doing, I've only been here 6 months, but 2/3 of Logitech's products use recycled plastic, which is massively better for the environment than virgin plastic.
And considering your scale as well.
Yes, and we do that really at scale. And I haven't seen any company in tech or in consumer goods that does it as such scale. So that's cool.
But asking as a product designer, do these three, let's call them branches, do they work in synergy when developing a new product, or are they kept in isolation chambers?
We run them as three businesses, but there are hardware and software engineering teams and design teams that do absolutely talk to each other. So we have a program called Techno Bricks, which is kind of the hardware that goes into all three divisions. So yes, we do try to drive synergies in the background.
So is this part of your personal product design? Is this how you work? Like, do you look at latest trends or do you predict trends? What's your personal style of coming up with products?
Yeah, so innovation is our lifeblood, right? I look at it in two ways. First of all, there's on our core products, the products we sell today, we must be absolutely superior, always. And that takes constant innovation to keep those products up to date versus the many competitors that are out there.
So it's a funnel down for you, basically.
Yeah, so that's what, yes. Correct. So you're constantly benchmarking and making sure that you're keeping those products better designed, better software, better hardware.
So you're working platform betterment, not just versioning on top of it.
Absolutely. So that's one. The other one is completely new things. And there we've decided to focus on three areas. AI, of course. Beyond the PC. We're attached to the PC. So what can we do beyond the PC? And the third one is sustainability. Very important as well. So those are the three big spaces that we innovate in. And then many projects come out of that.
You told me about the sustainability thing, but how big is Logitech's R&D department? Like how many people?
Yeah, so we spend about 6% of our sales on R&D, which is high.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what allows us to continue to deliver innovation, superior products, and also build our brand and continue to move people up to more premium segments.
In that line, what is Logitech's tomorrow? I just don't mean new products. I mean, are you going to enter new categories? Are there newer territories that you're going to target or focus against?
Yeah.
So what is tomorrow?
Yeah. Our mission for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and the day after tomorrow is to, sounds a little lofty, but I'll say it anyway, is to extend human potential in work and in play. So we want to make you better, make you more productive, make you win that game, help you connect better with others, and do all of that in ways that are more sustainable and more inclusive. So that's the North Star, extend human potential, whether you're at work or whether you're at play. And then there's many ways in which we can grow the business. Growing in the B2B channel is a big opportunity. There's individual countries where we're underdeveloped. It's no surprise I'm here in India this week. And we still have a big opportunity to grow the brand to be truly iconic as well.
Great. I'm coming to the last three questions of this interaction. And since you mentioned India, I'm going to keep it all India.
Absolutely.
So first one is a pretty fun question. Yeah. Which products in your current portfolio do you think can do much better, and which were absolute surprises to you when you first saw the sheet?
Well, let me mention two products, but I would say both of them were a surprise and they can still do much better. So the first one is the MX line of, so they have done well here, so the MX is our most premium mice and keyboards for work. They've done well here, but India, we're a Swiss company, right? India has more software engineers then there's people in Switzerland. And if you're a software
Per
engineer,
square kilometer.
yeah. Oh my God. If you're a software engineer, you must use an MX mouse. You're simply not as productive, not as fast, not as ergonomically sound with anything else. So I feel it has done very well, but there's still so much upside. So it's something we'll be focused on. Second example is gaming in general. And if I look at one of our most fun gaming products, it's actually the wheel, the simulation of driving. We've started here and it's doing very well, but boy, is there a lot more opportunity for more penetration of that into the market.
True.
And it's such a fun product. I mean,
It is.
you really
Use it,
feel like, you're in that Formula One car.
But just to let you know, everyone who is in the friend list of when I log into Steam or Xbox owns an MX product. So
Good.
I mean,
I'm glad to hear it, but I think we still have much more opportunity. Yeah.
Next one. So you've just joined, you're holding a town hall with the Indian market team specifically, and you've done your external peripheral study of India. What are the 5-6 problems that you see, and what do you tell them how to address them?
Oh, I'm not sure there's that many problems, but
3-4.
Yeah. I would say the first thing I would say is think big. This is a huge country, but again, even when you take specific segments like software engineers or creators, which is a growing segment as well, we have to think big. We have to, get penetration with all of them, because I truly believe our products are the very best for those groups. And we do well today and we are growing, but can we think much, much bigger? So that would be an important piece. And then what else would I say? I think this is actually a great team and a great country. So I would more encourage them to, just keep up the wonderful momentum you have here, and never ever give up.
Yeah, we are one of the world's youngest countries, going digital exponentially by the day, so that helps as well.
Absolutely.
Last question. What is Logitech's India story? What are you going to manufacture more here? Are you going to join our, carbon neutral cause? So what is Logitech's India story?
Yeah, we're absolutely investing here. So we now have 450 software engineers in Chennai, and they are developing the all-important software for us, not just for India, but for the whole world, but obviously inspired and based in India. So India is very important to us. India is important to us as a market, and as I said, I think there's a lot more opportunity for growth. And then I love that India as a country is increasingly focused on sustainability. We are in the tech space, an absolute pioneer in sustainability, and I'd love to lead the way alongside India's governments and institutions.
I really hope that works. The first time I saw an RGB themed mouse, I really thought that was made for India. The culture, the color and everything, I really thought that was made for India. But such a pleasure having you, Hanneke. I mean, I really hope the trip fruitions into why you've come here, and I hope you enjoy a lot more like I do with your products. But then thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. This was great. Really appreciate it.